Look at that. That's insane. How many games?
Okay,
1,
wait. He has 1,120 wins in Grandmaster League and 295 losses.
That's insane. Look at the win ratio is nuts.
Yeah, I'll clap.
And then if you kind of include all the custom games he's played in preparation for tournaments and so on,
I mean,
just testing stuff out, that's incredible.
I mean, it's weird to say that he's lost more games that some people have even played of StarCraft in their whole lives.
I know, it's insane.
And he still has had the endurance to win another 1,000 of them. So
insane.
Naama, or EmpireKas, very strong. But, you know, just like you were saying, MYM Sase has 472 losses and 1,352 wins, past the 1,337 mark, apparently ages ago. That's old hat for him.
Well, interesting fact about Sase is he used to live in China as a professional Warcraft 3 player.
Really?
Yeah, and so he spent a lot of time there. He's used to grinding out so much. And, you know, it's really showing in StarCraft 2. He hasn't really posted any large results before, but now he's coming into Dreamhack with a solid background, and I hear some ticking noises, Day9.
It seems that we're going into match 2 between Naama and EmpireKas. And I know everyone here loves themselves some Terran vs. Terran. Naama, the previous champion of Dreamhack.
Kas and Naama on stream in little marine suits. It's kind of cute, these guys.
That has exact identical representations of what they look like right now at their computers. And here we are going into game 2 with Kas up 1-0. In the north position, we have the previous champion of Dreamhack, Naama! And in the right position, we see the man who is reputed to be the strongest Terran vs. Terran in Europe, EmpireKas!
And as you can see on the minimap, both these players are by close position, and this is going to, I'm 100% certain this is going to be an entertaining game, very harassment-based, see who can get in for drops, see who can defend better, and Medivacs are definitely going to be used very frequent in this matchup, and we'll have to see from here. And we do get the supply depots going down. Both players, the thing is, in a lot of TVT, a lot of players do like to go for an early command center, and we like to see a lot of, barracks reactor openings are very common too, where you get, the reactor on the barracks and then open up with double marines pumping out, and then go ahead and expand it from there. And we'll have to see which builds these players do come up with as the game progresses here.
And interestingly, we have started to see a whole lot of variety in this matchup in the opening stages. It's not like, Marine tank is the big standard, and then every now and again you'll see mech. I mean, we are seeing huge percentages of players do all kinds of opening. Banshee, Blue Flame Hellion, regular Hellion Marine pushing. Of all matchups, I really think that Terran vs. Terran is the most dynamic.
And you can actually see that Kas has got a faster barracks. He's also got a faster refinery here, which is kind of interesting. I wasn't actually looking at how that actually went down, but that's really interesting. You can look at the production tab, the difference between the refineries already in this game. And then we also have the barracks placement here for Naama. It looks like he probably will be going for some kind of Reaper opening, the way that the barracks has been positioned here. And then he can easily go down and scout this bottom location if he does, in fact, go for that early tech lab on that barracks.
Yep, looks like Naama is making his first Marine. There's the command center going down. 3 guys in the gas, same with EmpireKas, and it looks like, a tech lab going down. Would not be surprised to see a Reaper opening. Reapers are quite common on this map, but we see Naama immediately adding on that extra Marine, trying to press that SCV out. Now, in a Terran vs. Terran Apollo, what is generally your response if you can't get any scouting information at all? Kind of the situation that EmpireKas is in.
Well, I don't really know how these players are going to through. Well, if you have a tech lab like this, EmpireKas is going to have the opportunity to get in there. And Naama, on the other hand, hasn't got the scanning information. Again, as you can see, the Marine is here. He's not going to be able to get in the base, but at the same time, he's already chosen his build. Therefore, it doesn't matter too much what he scouts, because he just has to prepare for everything. He needs to be super safe. He needs to be adding on that engineering bay quite early anyway in anticipation for something. But as we can see here, that both players have gone ahead and expanded here. One going for the Reaper Expo, and the other one going for the React Expo. And you can see the factory has been put down here for Naama. He might be going for some Marine Hellion pressure from this. We'll have to see how that develops. This SCV is still alive, though. Do either player noted that they've actually expanded? No, both players completely in the dark at the moment.
Yeah, we can see from the Naama cam, there's no vision of this command center. But the one thing that's really huge to me, look at how fast that stim is from EmpireKas. I mean, even if you do get stim up that quickly with a handful of Marines, you're generally vulnerable to almost anything, even regular Marines without stim. And oh, EmpireKas loses his Reaper.
Did he scout it though? That's the important thing. And yeah, he did. He did actually get vision of the command center, so he knows what's going on. And if you are going to get stim this fast, you actually can't really go straight into a factory. And as you can see, he has adding on 2 packs. Money scanned there by Naama. Very early sees that the Tech Lab is researching something, doesn't quite know what that is. It could be a combat shield, it could be stim. And nevertheless, we do have a reactor on that barracks. And now we see a lot of Marines in the middle of the map. We have double Hellions coming out on the reactor, been switched up with that barracks, so a little bit of early pressure coming out right off the bat from Naama here. But will Cass have enough to defend it? He has invested in the stim, which is a long way away from being made.
Yeah, I mean, and even if that stim is done, if Naama just marches right in with some well-positioned Hellions and those Marines, he can do mega damage. I mean, EmpireKas really, I don't think is going to be doing a fast stim attack. He might be doing a fast stim combat shield attack, but now trying to defend his ramp. Oh my gosh, Naama just marching directly in, doing huge damage, picking off one of the mules. We see EmpireKas trying to position himself a little bit better, and there comes another big swell of Marines. Can he take it out? Well, the real question is, can Kas survive a second wave of units popping out? I mean, EmpireKas trying to pick off the Hellions, and oh, great little roast there by Naama.
And this is really hurting Cass now. I mean, this build was just, you know, easily countered with this, with the reactor on the factory opening, and now we even have a medivac being brought in the middle of the map. We'll be able to lift units into the main and continue harassment there and use the medivac because, well, stim is done now, so we'll be able to fight against that medivac to push it away a little bit easier. But I don't know, there's a lot of dark area inside Cass's base. He might not even be expecting this, as he has no vision about this starport whatsoever.
Uh-oh, and it looks like Naama is going to swing around that north position. We see him starting to move along.
No. I was going to say, is the supply depot going to see it, but because of the cloud around it, it's not going to be able to see anything. So this is going to come as a big shock now, and Cass is definitely going to be taking some economical damage right now.
Looks like he's moving on, and Kas has yet to move anything, already taking a good amount of damage, and there's the stim. Will he be able to pick off this retreating medevac? And it looks like he is chasing it. There's the double stim, but no! It looks like the Hellion at the natural. The one Hellion has 6 kills on it, able to do a nice bit of damage. Naama is doing some great drop tactics, but it looks like 1 Marine versus 1 Hellion. I didn't realize it was not that close.
And just looking at the workers killed now, we're at 11 for Naama versus just 1 for Cass. And then we go over to the unit counting station, 39 versus 33 now, quite a commanding lead quite early on, considering they both went for a fast expand.
Uh-oh, and there the Hellions moving in again. Naama not even getting blue flame, not doing anything. Overcommittal, just darting in, doing a little damage, pulling right back out. EmpireKas now finally has a Viking, but wow. Look at Naama's main Diapollo. There are so many structures, and poor EmpireKas still just has these 3 barracks and has just now gotten some of his higher tech structures down.
I mean, Naama right now is certainly driving the car in this game, and as long as because he has control of the Xelnog tower in the middle, he doesn't really need to keep all his units on his own natural. He should definitely have some units inside his main in case of any drops that could be very viable here. And these Marines now that do have the combat shield, but look at their health actually on Cass's natural, so low because they have used stim. We don't have any medivacs at all. We don't even have any in production yet. And so, I mean, if this push comes down, we have Siege Mode completed, a Siege tank not too far away from finishing, and without any sight range available, this is going to be quite hard for Cass to hold, I think.
I mean, we have this 1 medevac out for Kas that's doing as good of a job as it really can, just trying to heal up all those Marines. And there, it looks like the bunker's getting loaded up. And the real question is, will Kas be prepared for this push? It looks like Naama's moving up. Naama almost has stim himself. The window of opportunity for Kas is rapidly closing. The fact that he got that stim, the fact that he got that combat shield so early, not going to be that useful.
Oh, he moves into position.
Oh no, and it looks like the stim manages to clean up. Can he pick it off? Not quite. Where is that 1 Viking? And there it is, starting to do some damage. Looks like he will force an unload, but once that siege mode gets up, it's going to be an absolute nightmare for EmpireKas.
I mean, he's only got Marines. I don't know how he expects to try to combat this.
He lost a full medevac.
Wow, that's how he needs to combat that. Then that's how he needs to deal with this. But that siege tank is in great position. Another siege tank coming, and basically he can just elevate into the base and slowly push towards the production of Cass. And now he actually has his own siege tank up, but siege mode only about 45% complete now. It's going to be quite difficult to hold on to this.
Do see Blue Flame going down for Naama, and here comes a bunch of Marines, but oh my god, those tank shots are huge. EmpireKas needs to control this quite well. Looks like he may manage to break it, and he does. Managed to
shields for the win. Wow. I'm actually surprised he managed to get that down with solely Marines there. And that's kind of good for him. He's kind of equalized the supply count. I mean, well, the drone count is 53 versus 52 caught up.
Wow.
Third base has been denied by Naama. Cass's third base right down south here. And Naama's third base is about to go up, and we'll be able to turn that into a planetary fortress quite soon.
And uh-oh, it looks like Naama's starting to swing forward, but he doesn't have combat shield. That could be a big blunder by him. We see, loses that one air unit to the Vikings. EmpireKas now has himself sieged up appropriately. And Naama just trying to go for good positional play, trying to get into a good, solid spot where he can begin applying pressure. Looks like this bottom expansion is going to be his choice. Kas went for the sneaky expand location instead of the safe one, and he's getting punished for it.
Oh, I think he's going to definitely try to get a cancel on this, but for that cost, he might lose his entire army here as Kas moves in with a counterattack.
And it looks like Kas with the bigger spread. Whoa! EmpireKas manages to keep his Expo alive, and in the meantime, a counterattack by Naama loads up, successfully going to be able to defend this, and we also see the tanks just running away.
Okay, he didn't really want to continue
Naama with a series of key blunders, losing the attack at the south and losing the counterattack. Now trying to press out again, but in the unit station, we do see that there's been a total stabilizing of EmpireKas's unit count. He is in great shape and is now taking the offensive himself.
The combat shields really helped out for Kas now, and he also has +1 compared to Naama's 0-0 upgrade, so that's going to make a world of difference in these fights. And finally, I mean, still harassment on this bottom base. Will it be able to get up? And if it doesn't and he's forced to cancel it, that's going to really hurt him because he'll go back to 2 bases compared to the 3 bases of Naama. And the economic advantage is going to soar in favor of Naama. And actually, we are going to see a drop. And a scan just on time sees that drop.
And it looks like here the 2 medevacs moving up into the main. Will Naama be able to defend it? He's just trying to elevate her back up into his own main, but EmpireKas has the positional advantage.
Oh my god, I want to watch these Marines going on. SCV's trying to be pulled in here to help with the fight, and he manages to hold on just about, but at what cost? He lost a lot of SCVs there, 10 SCV difference now, and I don't know, Kas manages to get his third base up at the same time, is transferring SCVs down there, and with this SCV lead and the upgrade lead, I don't know, Kas is slowly pushing back into us, but Naama, not holding anything down, is going to be moving into this base from this location.
I mean, crazy back and forth game, but we're seeing EmpireKas really have a strong understanding of the fundamentals of this matchup, despite having an absolute battering at the start of this game. Seems to be fairly resilient in terms of holding on, continually bouncing back, getting ahead in the worker count, still maintaining essentially equal footing with that infantry ratio. So EmpireKas now does manage to get his bottom expansion up. Plenty of mules there to up that income.
And it looks like he's going to be moving location. Now Naama decided to take the gold. Why not when you have control of both Xel'Naga towers and the middle ground area? Kas on a very defensive side. Upgrades now are about to be 1-1 for Kas and only 1-0 currently for Naama here. And it looks like he's going to try and assault this third base. He needs to get up a good siege mode here. And at the same time, all his units are way put in the middle of the map, which is going to secure that gold.
Uh-oh, there's the attack by Naama at the south expansion, picking off some free Marines. Ooh, cleaning up all the Marines there. And this planetary fortress under some heavy fire. But EmpireKas may very well be able to clean this attack up again. I mean, this bottom expansion is almost act like bait for Naama's entire army, increasingly small forces, but oh no, and he's repaired the planetary fortress. He's down to 400, and there he is, cleaning everything up.
And at the same time, we have a drop inside the main. He needs to unload that quick. And this is a really, Nice drop here by Naama inside the base, be able to do a lot of damage here. Get in position on top of this production facilities. Even though his army was cleaned up, he got Cass out of position with siege tanks on the bottom ground. This is a really key location here, Sean.
Beautiful job by Naama, distracting at that south end. He lost the whole push, but it didn't matter. It is this main attempt that Naama's really gearing up for, but EmpireKas so resilient, holding on once again, going up to these siege tanks. Not the best decision. He gets cleaned up. In the main, Naama's tank still managing to work away, and a Viking landing at the back. Naama in all places at once.
This is crazy. At the same time, Cass was dropping the back third base of Naama, but the Planetary Force just did defend it. And now Cass is in a kind of a bad situation. How does he defend against this? As soon as more units gets elevated into the main base of Cass, it's going to be very hard to deal with. And once again, we do have a medivac only with 4 HP there. And this gold base is now being taken in the middle of the map, so we're going to be having a 4 base versus 3 so far, and more Marines are being stabbed. Going to pick off a couple of tanks and loses the medivac, but does retreat to the safety of those lower tier tanks.
Uh-oh, looks like EmpireKas barely going to be able to defend his high ground. Naama still pressing relentlessly through this area, but Naama
was so close.
Oh my god! If he had a scan there, he could have been able to take it out, but for the time being, it looks like EmpireKas has indeed stabilized. But Naama is slowly pulling ahead with the taking of this gold expansion. These two players just absolutely marvelous at this matchup.
This is an insane TVT, multitasking all over the place. Once the Marine will go up to this 4th base of Cass and deny that, which is great, especially because he's got the gold up, and now Cass is in a really bad situation. How does he do this? How does he combat this? And then, like I mentioned before we even started this, it's all about position, and that is not what Cass has right now. And this crucial hold that Naama has here in the middle of the map is so vital, and cutting off this 4th base has done a lot of damage. Landing Vikings, doing a bit of damage to the SCV line. Looking at the SCV count, 77 versus 82 for Cass, but this 4th command center with the gold in the middle is going to help out a bunch.
Yeah, Naama just really not doing a lot of variety in terms of attacking, but continuing to drill the same 2 vulnerable points. Looks like EmpireKas is going to try to do a little bit of counterplay himself, moving in towards that planetary fortress. And Naama, oh man, really getting aggressive up in the main of EmpireKas. Kas still trying to clean out this little resistance in the center of the map, and it looks like EmpireKas now just going to sneak on over to the backside. But tons of Marines from Naama there to reinforce. Yeah,
Marines are being stimped, and we're going to be able to deflect that. Hopefully should be able to defend that quite easily. But right now, this kind of threshold that Naama has on this 4th bottom right base, really hurting Cass's economy. Another drop going into the main of of Cass, sorry. Even a drop on top of that tank, on top of both tanks. There are a lot of Marines here, though. It's very dangerous style by Naama, losing 1 medivac and a bunch of Marines.
Oh, EmpireKas with a huge blunder trying to dart forward, but the tanks are just going to clean him up. EmpireKas trying to get more positional play, but getting punished violently for it.
And a 5th base is going up now for Naama in the bottom left or left-hand side. 2-2 is finishing for the Marines of Cass, which is going to help out a bunch to defend this, as the Marines of Naama only 2-1 at the moment. Vehicle weapons upgrades are kind of the same at the moment, both players with +1 tanks. But it's all about this position, and Naama really taking full control of this game, getting both refineries in the middle of the map, taking this 5th base on the left-hand side while maintaining this threshold on this base. And Naama, Cass is going to be able to come in here and clean this up eventually, finally.
Yeah, EmpireKas is amazing at holding on, but I'm not so sure if he'll be able to actually close it out. Naama is taking more and more bases, and if they just continue to do small equal trades, there's virtually no way that EmpireKas can really come forward.
And Cass's forces are spread out all over the place. Units at the south, units at the 4th base, units on the natural, units in the main. And we only see really Naama's forces in the middle of the map going down 2 different alleys. And this is what we also talked about pre-game, is that once you control the middle, you have full game control. You can attack in different locations, harass, split basically Cass in half almost, and really deny his late game expansions. As another attack, another wave comes in from Naama down here, and this is going to really hurt this expansion here.
And there's the stim forward, and the sensor tower arrives just in time to find out there's a whole bunch of units killing me. And now EmpireKas will try to siege up those tanks there. The siege tanks up on the high ground. We see EmpireKas' south expansion under fire yet again. Originally looked like a nice opportunity for Kas to pick off smaller forces, but increasingly losing more and more.
Oh,
and
he has no sight range.
Man! Losing a ton of units, and in the meantime, Naama still pressing in to Kas's main.
And like you said, because of the economic advantage Naama has, as long as he goes toe-to-toe with unit exchange, he's always going to come up ahead because he just has so much money. Even though Kas is a little bit of a supply lead, if we look at it, his natural is basically mined out, his main is mined out. He's only mining from 2 bases compared to Naama has the gold, has this left-hand side location, and that 3rd base. So his economy is just going to replenish a lot easier.
Interestingly, the strategy that you want to have as EmpireKas in this position is to pray for unequal trades, to pray that Naama starts throwing away a few too many units, because if EmpireKas can hold on, here's a big push from EmpireKas. Oh, getting those tanks before they siege, but it looks like the Marines from Kas were stuck behind. EmpireKas going to lose a ton of tanks. Naama will be deflected again, but that trade very much so in the favor of Naama, and wow, Naama actually getting to break through that line of defense.
Yeah, and the Marines are going to try and clean up those 2 tanks within that minivac. Will be able to get it though. A few Marines are coming in to help combat that little force there, and still the economic advantage very heavily favored for Naama here. And Kas trying to break through. Look at all these turrets on this south location to prevent any form of harassment coming from Kas now. +3 weapons about to finish for Kas, which will help out still a bunch.
We do see 2-2 done for Naama. We see 2-2 also done for Kas, but as you said, Kas has always been ahead in the upgrades throughout this game. And there's EmpireKas losing the medevac. There's the stim. EmpireKas will be able to get an amazing arc here, but still has to be incredibly careful. He is again hoping to have a lot of unequal trades. This will allow him to slowly work his way back into the game, but Naama dropping up at the north. EmpireKas constantly under fire from all angles.
Naama is all over the place, and this is so hard for Kas to play against. He must be under so much pressure right now to try and deal with this. And just drops happening all over the place, consistent harassment. And this is why Naama is such a good player, why he won the Dreamhack Winter Tournament and now finally gets cleared out. But at what cost? He lost a lot in that exchange. And managing to hold on. Another drop in the south location. Tanks are here, unsieged though, but will he be able to get any? Oh no, it's cleaned up quite easily there.
Looks like Kas is in a good position to hold. And right now, Kas is hoping to stabilize. If he can slowly become efficient enough with these defenses, it'll allow him to slowly drift back into a lead. Right now, Naama is just hurling units at the opponent, trying to get some kind of leak, some kind of weakness in there, and it looks like Naama has decided that the main is where he wants to hit. And
if he can hit, actually decides to back out there. But if he could hit that main, take all the production facilities, and oh my god, Kas is moving forward now.
Gosh,
right
Kas,
inside lane.
He's been baiting Virus Naama into being aggressive all game long, and it looks like Naama may have overextended himself, doing another drop in the main, trying to take this advantage, but we see now these tanks well in range of that gold expansion.
What a great position that is right there. That's really going to hurt that. Even though the gold base is pretty much mined out, he's going to lose the refineries. So he'll definitely need to go ahead and take the refineries on the left-hand side bases, use them to efficiently keep the gas, if not go ahead with that gas supply. But this is what we need from Kas. At the same time, Day9, huge attack here by Naama inside the base, cutting off those production facilities.
Wow, this is such a close game. To think that EmpireKas has been behind for so long in the unit counting station. We see those 84 SCVs really helping in terms of economy, and EmpireKas manages to clean up the drop in his main.
Wow. This game is crazy. The upgrades, though, are about to swing in favor of Naama because of his economy. You know, we have +3 weapons about to finish, +3 armor about to finish, and also +3 weapons for the tanks just begun. But for now, as you said, Kas is beginning to stabilize.
Oh my gosh, EmpireKas held on, and then pushed towards the center. And Naama had too weak a defense line. Here comes EmpireKas. Oh my gosh, Kas might break in from the south as well. Huge drop by Naama in the main. Could this be the key that finally lets Naama close this game out? I don't know, this push from Kas is huge too, and he scans and sees that there is nothing there to defend it.
And Naama surprisingly just doesn't have any minerals. It's really hurting him, and you can see by this he's losing so many units on the map, losing a lot of positions, and now the other Xel'Naga tower is going to go down, but a big heavy drop inside now the main of Kas, taking a lot of damage. Engineering base going down, supply depots, now Kas is supply blocked, and a lot of damage, but I don't know if Kas got all his forces together and launched a huge attack with everything. I don't know if Naama has the forces to do so. 150 supply versus 185 of Kas.
Main completely hollowed out, but keep in mind EmpireKas is the king of these unorthodox situations. He is relentlessly laddered and is not one to give up easily. He is more than comfortable with these unorthodox situations. EmpireKas looking to be in a good position if he can only clean this up, and it looks like he's going to load up and try to retreat, but there, Marines and Vikings going to pick off one. Oh, two medevacs. Oh, EmpireKas, can he get the final medevac? And he gets it.
Wow, Kas. I don't know how he's even come back into this game. Just consistent pressure throughout by Naama, but he's still in this. He's still fighting so hard despite losing his entire main. He's built up his production, as you can see on the third base location. A lot of production facilities coming up, even on the natural 2, and a command center getting ready to even go ahead and take that gold base.
EmpireKas, again, reputed to be the strongest Terran versus Terran in Europe, really living up to his name. Here comes a big push from Naama, and it looks like, with all those Marauders, he can clean up that tank line fairly easily, but EmpireKas has tanks lining all the way back. Can it be enough? The Marauders and Marines are trying to break forward, but it looks like the tanks are in a little bit of a good position, but no! Too many units from Naama. Naama manages to break through once again. And in this back and forth Terran versus Terran, it is so unclear who will come out on top.
This is insane. I love the switch over to Marauders to help combat so many tanks in this. They are really helping and changing the tide of the battle. And now Naama has control of this right-hand side, moving back towards the gold so he can start mining once again from these refineries. And actually, if he manages to get position on top of Kas's potential gold, this is a very vital position to be in. And Kas, I don't know if he should move down there. Okay, he's going to move back.
Yeah, I mean, really, this central gold is now the key point in this entire game. Whoever can maintain control of that will have the clutch on all the resources. I mean, Naama now moving to the center just to be able to mine up the scraps because the minerals are starting to run dry, and EmpireKas is beginning his tournament with an absolutely exhausting series of games. Can he manage to hold on? I mean, I keep talking like EmpireKas is the only player in this game. Naama also having to do an exhausting series of games, and I mean, Naama has been so responsible about continuing his aggression, about trying to pierce through every hole, but EmpireKas just seems to have amazing tactical decision-making.
Oh, he snipes all 3 tanks and now has position, pulls back to get inside his own tank raid, and that was an excellent sniper. Now regains this gold position, which is going to be very vital as he needs it to start mining his own minerals. Minerals will start to slowly die out for Kas. He only has really 1 mining base, as this base in the bottom right is about to be mined out. But Naama, needs to really hold this middle position. But look at the amount of units Kas has pushing up this left-hand side.
I cannot believe that Kas may win this game. Would absolutely be the most impressive Terran versus Terran I have ever seen. And there he is pushing to the gold. He takes it out, has a command center geared up to take his own gold. But Naama has a clutch hold in the center of the map. EmpireKas seems to just have more of everything. 14 tanks, 47 Marines, and 92 workers.
And finally, Kas's plus 3/3 upgrades get into use in this game. And actually, he's going to be in great position if Naama comes. He needs a siege. If he has to control the high and lower ground, that is an awesome position to be in. He can even go and harass this orbital command, and this could be absolutely game-changing.
And he finally manages to break through to that 5th base. Units trying to stream up, but the siege tanks in a great position, and it looks like Kas's Marines, though, were target firing the orbital command. They get taken out. He needs to run the medevacs. Does not quite manage to get them away in time. SCV battling in the right. And he does manage to clean up. This is such an intense TVT.
And now the gold base has been taken for Kas. More units being out. Kas rarely drops below 180 food throughout the second half of this game. Naama down at 162 though, but still a lot of units. And now another attack comes in to try and clean this top up. He needs to pull back though from these lower ground siege tanks. But wow, this is absolutely insane TBT here.
Just top-notch play by both of these players. Naama, having a huge number of tanks, has to pull back in the center yet again, but Kas needs to begin defending that right flank. Looks like he's rushing in with his Marines. Will be able to clean up the SCVs, evaporating them. Now picking off the two Marauders. The only thing that he has left to worry about is this gigantic counter push. He will be forced to retreat because he will lose this gold. But meanwhile, at the left, EmpireKas picking off one of the last remaining spots of Naama's mining.
And Kas is literally absolutely hurt Naama's economy so hard now. If you look at the SCV count, 33 versus 82, huge lead now for Kas, and Naama knows that he's far behind. He's gonna have to get something, do something, pull back in. Another drop on the left-hand side for Kas. Consistent pressure over and over on from both players, and it looks like that Naama will be able to pick off both medivacs.
Naama managing to help it swing back a little more in his favor, cleaning up the main. But at this point in time, I mean, hardly any resources are being mined at all. The one thing that's really helping EmpireKas is that 4,000 in the bank. His ridiculous overproduction of workers was exactly what kept him alive in those early phases of the game, and still refusing to give up. EmpireKas does have the food lead.
Even though in the early stages of this game we saw Naama take a big 10 SCV lead, consistently cast throughout the game, built more SCVs, and now he's got such a lead himself. And that's the real difference right now between these two players, is that SCV count. And slowly but surely the minerals are dying now for Naama. Does he have enough to combat these +3 Marines and +3 tanks? I'm not sure, Day 9.
Oh my gosh, great positioning by EmpireKas. He saw that Naama retreated to try to deal with this push at the left side. So he immediately pulls back to mid. He's keeping Naama on his feet. Naama doing whatever he can to be scrappy, picking off a couple of these structures in the main base. But meanwhile, EmpireKas continuing to aggressively push to the left.
And a bunch of SCVs are coming out here, and are going to be sacrificed. He has so many minerals, he just doesn't need these SCVs, and are just going to go all the way over to Naama and be like, yo, what's up? And they're not going to be really long left for this game.
These 3 Marines, the last bastion of hope against the fleet of SCVs. Let's see how good SCVs are against Marines. Oh, it turns out not so good, but they do manage to scout. Maybe they'll steal some minerals. No, they end up doing virtually nothing.
And a fusion core in the making now for Kas in the background, adding on 2 starports. Look like we are going to see a switch over to battle cruisers, and that is actually that has to be the win point of this game, if anything, because Naama just does not have the resources to even switch over to Vikings.
And there's the fusion core, and you know that my favorite dance is the fusion core dance. And it looks like EmpireKas trying to sweep in for a kill move, but these 2 siege tanks obliterate the Marine count of EmpireKas. Oh my gosh, EmpireKas plummeting beneath Naama's food count, but this is going, Naama, don't do that. That is so many tanks. Naama may have done a key blunder with this, amazingly manages to clean it up regardless.
Regardless of that, though, I mean, actually, looking at the SCV count, Kas sacrificed so many. He's dropped down to 34 SCVs versus 35, but this switch to battle cruisers is going to really surprise Naama, though there is a big timing window to hit now. If Naama was to decide to go ahead and attack to find out some key locations, looking around the map, there are hardly any of Kas's units on this left-hand side. They are all positioned on the right, and we'll have to see how that does go. But first battle cruiser is being made now by Kas.
And I mean, to note though, I mean, these 2 expansions from Naama don't have many minerals at them, but I think it was still going to outlast the amount of minerals that EmpireKas has. Kas really needs to devote all his energy to taking this gold. He's been having all his tanks in a farther back position, but has not quite sprinted forward yet, and 1 battlecruiser in the making at the moment.
And a drop going to head into Naama's base now. Kas dropping down a siege tank, and a bunch of Marines are going to be able to do a lot of damage here. Get rid of the tech labs, get rid of the reactors, do a lot of damage. And now Naama is being forced to retreat here to try to defend against that. But at the same time, Kas tries to get this gold position up, but Naama still has a lot of siege tanks there.
And there's the drop in the main, taking quite a lot of damage. I honestly think that this is a play by EmpireKas to simply force Naama to pull his units back, to get into a good position, maybe try to charge the line on either the right or left, but oh my goodness, only 4 tanks here, and holy Holy word, I'm not allowed to say on stream. Paul, that's a lot of units. How many tanks is that? Oh, that's
so many.
20, 19 tanks. He even
can
has a battle
attack
cruiser
move down this left-hand side and doesn't really have to worry about these 4 tanks.
Oh, but there's a battle cruiser moving in, and tanks are not very good at shooting up, and there they start getting taken down. All of Naama's forces were pulled back to deal with the drop. Great decision-making by EmpireKas.
That's it. I mean, he's going to have control of the gold finally in this game. Pushes Naama out, and Naama tries to build Vikings, tries to get more Marines out, but this one battlecruiser...
Oh! EmpireKas sieged up first, so he does get the first line of volleys off, and there the tank line from Naama just evaporates. Only 4 tanks remain, and now is the key moment where EmpireKas can begin drilling into the left expansion. Naama having to retreat with everything. That one single battle cruiser was enough, and now the drop at the left. EmpireKas can finally conquer these left expansions.
And he's going to go ahead, stim, kill all these SCVs and the Orbital Command, which is already in low health. And that is a killing blow already to the low economy of Naama. Is going to lose this. And even though there is a Planetary Fortress, can continue harassment. Naama tries to get in position, losing a lot of units to these siege tanks already in position. And do we have any more battle cruisers on the way? It doesn't look like it at the moment. He's halted production of that and focusing more back on Marines and tanks.
My God, EmpireKas has no income. Look at this. In the minerals, that's about what you have at the 3-minute mark.
Oh no.
These players are essentially broke. This is it, and it looks like EmpireKas moving up. He is going to be able to clear out this left watchtower. He finally is going to be able to secure the gold expansion, the one key linchpin of this entire Terran versus Terran. It's finally EmpireKas's. He does not need to attack anymore. He just needs to defend and hold the watchtowers, but he's still leaving it quite vulnerable, quite open, and Naama slowly edging his way in, picking off anything he can. Naama is refusing to leave this game. These players so strong, 20 SCVs to 35.
Kas has so many idle SCVs in the south location that he could easily move them to the gold base and continue with his production.
Oh, he doesn't see in time! Oh, Naama! One key misstep, losing the remainder of his forces, and there's the good game! EmpireKas with perhaps the most impressive Terran versus Terran that I have ever seen. He was behind almost the whole game.
I can't believe I just saw that. What an interesting game. So crazy. Back and forth, all game long. Both players, all of a sudden, Kas has the edge, then Naama has the edge, then Kas has the edge. Crazy game. And that was a true game of chess there played in that Terra Mirror.
That kicked ass, Sean. Oh my gosh. I mean, it's one of those moments where so much of what happened in the game at the very end is what's fresh in your mind. But don't forget, at the start of the game, EmpireKas lost almost immediately to the double Hellion Marine push, and then was on the verge of losing all throughout the mid-game, with the tanks constantly being dropped up into his main. That south expansion that was just trying to sneak its way in and be left alone, had Vikings being dropped, had tanks and Marines getting sent down to it, and EmpireKas just kept holding on. He seemed absolutely relentless, refused to give up, and that is an impressive win. Naama is going to go into his second round games, having lost his first match, and both games were 50+ minutes long.
Wow. And how many times can you kick Kas down, but he keeps getting up and up? That is true determination throughout that game. So many times he was in pressured situations where he could have easily just given up key locations, but he continued throughout, very persistent, as you said. And that is a sign of a true champion right there.
Oh, yeah.
And I'd be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised, if Kas continued throughout this tournament to do extremely well.
Oh,
Definitely need to follow the rest of Kas's results.
But of course, poor Kas, we just got the update, does need a little bit of a break. What was scheduled to be cast MYM Sase versus EmpireKas will absolutely be coming up, but we must go to a short break to let our Terran superstar just give a little bit of time for that adrenaline to exit his system. So whatever you do, stay put. I'm Day9.
And I'm Apollo.
We'll be back in just a moment with MYM Sase versus EmpireKas. See you in 5 minutes.